You are listening to Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.
Hey everybody, we're back with another episode of Digging In, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors. I'm your host, Kenjo Kelly, helping you answer those questions that you have leading up to and through retirement. Today, I am joined by a guy I've known for a little bit. We're still getting to know each other, but he works the back office at Rooted Wealth Advisors. He's phenomenally smart. I routinely hear him referred to as the smartest guy in the office. He's a portfolio strategist advisor. He's working on his wicked backhand in tennis, and when he's not doing those things, he can be heard cheering very loudly for the Chicago White Sox. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson Sheputis. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, Kench. Thank you for that nice introduction.
How you doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here on the show.
Good to see you today, man. Good to see you. So, walk people through at a high level, like
Sure.
what you do at Rooted Wealth Advisors.
Yeah, so I have two main purposes really in my job. The first is helping people when they come aboard and they first become clients. I'm the one kind of putting together that initial plan for them and taking kind of a high-level look at their whole financial situation and giving them kind of some suggestions and some ideas of ways that we can help make their plan a little better for them. So that's what I do a lot of the time is I'm working on putting together those binders, our rooted retirement process, and the roadmap and how we can help you improve your retirement plan. And then the second part of what I do is just checking in on our accounts every day for our existing clients, making sure that allocations are as they need to be, changing things when we see things going on in the markets that cause a reason for us to make changes, and talking to our clients about any changes that they think they might need to make with their plan. It's just to make sure that everything is always up to date and where it needs to be.
Not gonna lie to you, man. That sounds pretty important.
I like to think so.
Is that the simplest way you've ever put your job?
Yeah, it gets complicated. There's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of names going through my head at all times, names and numbers. But we have a good team here that helps me kind of keep it all together, and it's by no means all me. It's our whole back office team.
I feel like, Jackson, if we got a peek like behind your brain, like if we pulled back the curtain, it would just be like a matrix of like numbers and names and spreadsheets. And
that's pretty accurate.
All trickling down there.
Yeah, a lot of things going by. I picture like the scroll bar with all the stock prices just flying by.
He's got the matrix. He's got a stock bar in his head.
Yeah.
Jackson Sheputis. All right. So, did you come by that naturally? Do you come by that like the analytic side? Because that to me just means that you're totally dialed in all the time. So walk me back to when Jackson was a kid. I mean,
Sure.
He looks young now, but so maybe 2 years ago when you were a kid. But I have to give you a hard time. Sorry, man. What was your
22.
What was your first memory of money? Were you the kid out there mowing yards with the paper route? Were you saving for baseball cards? Would you spend it on bubble gum? What was your first memory of money?
It was never really a money thing for me. It was more so the numbers side than the money side. I was always big into math. Was always my best subject in school.
I think I could have guessed that.
Numbers, statistics. Originally, my plan was to be some sort of mathematics or statistics major in college. And then when I was a senior in high school, I took a finance class. And my teacher there kind of taught me, I didn't know anything about the stock market or investing or anything like that. That was where I got introduced to it. And I really thought it was interesting just seeing all the things that most people don't even realize and that makes such a big difference as to your entire life, really. How you manage your money affects everything in your life. And so that was what really got me interested in the field. I was always drawn to the personal finance side of it. And how individual people or individual companies make their financial decisions, and so that's what kind of got me into it. It didn't start as a money interest. It started as more of a numbers thing, and then it became a way to apply the numbers thing in a way that I thought was really both interesting and impactful.
Yeah, you fell in love with the numbers first. You fell in love with the numbers.
It's true.
Then you saw the dollar signs, and then you saw how those dollar signs affected people, right? That's kind of the timeline I'm hearing?
Yeah. Initially, young me was the kid with all the reading the numbers on like the baseball cards and everything.
Yeah.
That was me before there was any number signs behind it.
That actually makes a whole lot of sense. I can see little Jackson like in his room poring over the stats on the baseball cards.
Sure, it's a game of numbers.
It is completely a game of numbers. Who's your favorite White Sox player growing up?
Chris Sale.
Chris Sale.
Yeah, I was a left-handed pitcher when I used to play. Kind of tall, skinny, left-handed pitcher, and then he came along, pretty much grown-up version of me. And so, yeah, he was my guy. Heartbroken when they traded him.
That is the way of baseball. I mean, if anybody should understand that, it should be the numbers guy, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's a business decision.
That is tough. All right, so we're going to get a little more personal here. So,
okay, let's do
what
it.
is the worst or best financial decision you have ever made?
Worst financial decision I ever made, I was in high school, and which, believe it or not, was not last year. It was a little while ago. But
he's got to return the digs when he gets a chance. Cause
the worst financial decision I made was more a decision I didn't make. I was in high school, and a friend was telling me about Bitcoin and how great it was going to be. And I just didn't care, didn't listen. So that was just big missed opportunity right there.
Big missed opportunity. Do you get a lot of calls from clients about Bitcoin?
We do, yeah. Coming soon. It exists now, but it's not directly Bitcoin. We can't own direct Bitcoin.
Right. So you're working on that behind the scenes. Don't pull back the curtain just that.
Yes.
Don't let the cat out of the bag. I don't want to get in trouble with compliance or anything like that. So
Exactly.
We'll just put that on hold, and we'll maybe circle back. Maybe we can have a future episode on Bitcoin and
we can.
Common
I
questions.
still
and
have my own
concerns.
thoughts on Bitcoin.
What do you look forward to going to the office each day?
My favorite part is the planning part. You know, getting someone who comes in here that we've never met before, and then I end up with a stack of notes on my desk of here's this person's entire story of, you know, here's how much they've saved, here's how much they make, here's when they want to retire, here's what they want their retirement to look like. And then I get to kind of basically put the puzzle together. And then at the end, you know, it's all printed out in this nice, like, concrete final piece that you can look at.
Right. Something most people have never had before.
Right. That is my favorite part because it's taking so many things that you wouldn't be able to just connect in your head and actually connecting them on paper and getting a real life important thing that a lot of people need.
That's got to be extremely gratifying, especially like when you know you can improve somebody's life.
Yeah, exactly, because there are certain ones where you put the plan together and it's like, well, you're already doing a great job. And that's fine. I mean, I'm happy to show that as it is. As look, you've done a great job saving your money. You're probably going to have a great retirement. Here's how all that looks. But it's even more gratifying when you're like, well, look at what would happen if we did this instead, and it makes a big difference.
What is do you have a story about somebody just like being very thankful for you and the team helping shed a light on like something they missed, or, you know, setting them up for a position where maybe they could retire even earlier than what they thought originally? Surely you've got a story that like gives you the warm and fuzzies, right, for helping people.
Sure, yeah. We had somebody come in here who had recently lost their job. And they were, I want to say, early 60s, had recently lost their job, and we're basically looking for a yes or no answer to the question of, do I need to go back to work? Do I need to find another job? That was Their main concern, they didn't want to go back to work, but they didn't know. They were like, here's what I have. That was a good one to put together because we ended up being able to show them, look, you can retire, and especially if we do these other things, you're going to be even safer. And that person ended up being extremely grateful when we showed them that, ended up becoming a client. And that was a good feeling for myself and for the whole team, I think.
That's got to be really cool. Really, really gratifying for yourself, but also knowing like you're helping other people. For those of you that don't know, a lot of boxes of Kleenexes are around the Rooted Wealth Advisor's office because there's tears here. Happy, sad, a lot more happy than sad, but usually sad when they come in and then happy when they leave, right?
Yeah, we've seen some emotional people in here, and we're just hoping that we can always help make that a little better.
I mean, I'm going to be emotional when it comes to my entire life savings when I'm talking about retirement.
Retirement's stressful, and that's something that, we don't take lightly. A lot of times people are handing us their life savings.
Right.
So that's something that we have to take extremely seriously and be extremely careful about, and it's rewarding to see what we can help them with.
So I know you're not in a lot of meetings directly with clients right now. Maybe that'll change, but I know the advisors are always asking people like what their hopes, dreams, plans are for retirement, right? And it's all over the board.
Sure.
Should anybody flip the table and ask you? If not, I'm going to ask you right now. What does retirement look like for the lanky lefty pitcher?
I think I'm in my prime right now. So if I can keep at this another 15 or 20 years and then check out, get a nice house near a lake, maybe a boat, maybe some season tickets to some baseball games.
There you go.
Play a little bit of golf, and just relax a little bit. Although I don't think I could relax all the time because I get a little anxious just sitting around.
You gotta have something to do, right? You gotta have some numbers to crunch.
I would
right?
definitely need something to do. I'd end up back working like a couple days a week probably.
That wouldn't be a bad thing because it sounds like your retirement's gonna be kind of expensive already.
It will be, but I've got some time. I'll be laying out a plan for myself.
You've got a minute before you hit retirement. You've definitely got a minute. Anything else you want to add to the show today, Jackson?
We'll have to do another episode where we get into the
crypto.
weeds on investing and what we're liking and what we're not liking.
Digging into the nitty gritty, the dirty numbers.
Yeah, maybe answer some common questions that we get from clients about.
You know what? I bet clients would like that.
I think so too.
All right, we're going to wrap up the show today. We'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, Rooted Wealth Advisors, for today's show. If you have any questions about anything you've heard today, they'd love to visit with you. And if you'd like a copy of the book, Your Retirement Lifeblood, give them a call at 815-918-4727. Again, that's 815-918-4727. And let them know that you heard about them from digging in, right? That's it for us today. Until next time, keep digging in.
This was Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.